This is the old school traveler, and I just got back, and I gotta tell you about a city that, I like a lot. Tampa, Florida. Now, I have criticized Tampa many, many, many times on this video, on this channel. I criticize Tampa because even today, I can't not find decent food. No, Tampa don't have any decent food. Tampa is not a foodie city. Not like Chicago. It's not a foodie city. You're gonna find food, but you're not gonna find great food. Not in Tampa. Tampa is definitely a growing city. And my view on Tampa, as an old school traveler, is that Tampa got some good things, but the one thing about Tampa that makes you hate it is the traffic. Tampa got traffic bad. I'm talking about bad. They got problems everywhere. And you know what? It's not because the people in Tampa are not trying to do right. Everywhere you go, there's construction. They're adding lanes to everywhere. You cross the bridges, going to St. Pete, they're adding lanes. Tampa just is a city that is a pretty city with a decent skyline. Not bad at all. But Tampa just is, I don't know if you need to clean it up, get more lanes. I don't know what you got to do to Tampa to make Tampa better. Because Tampa is one of those cities that you can see the potential. You drive past it every time you drive to Tampa. I don't care where you go in that region. Tampa is just Tampa. But there's no food that's unique to Tampa. There's no Chicago hot dog, New York pizza, LA Mexican food. It doesn't exist in Tampa. So that makes it very, very, very difficult when you go to Tampa and you want to do something that's, I guess the word is Tampa-ish. But now, one thing about Tampa I do like a lot, and Tampa got it like nobody else, the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk in Tampa is better than almost any Riverwalk in America. You won't find any other Riverwalk like Tampa. Now, saying that, the temperature is hot. It's hot as hell. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, the temperature's hot. You walk around and you'll find out you're the only person in Tampa that's sweating. Ain't nobody else sweating in Tampa other than you. That's just the way it is. And people talk about the hurricanes and all that. I saw a lot of houses in Tampa that had on a blue tarp. I mean, thousands of them. As I drove to other parts of Tampa, I saw a lot of them. And that's just crazy. So that did not give me a good feeling. And in Tampa, the suburbs are really, really big. The suburbs are big. You go to Apollo Beach, you go to Plant City, and even as far as Lakeland, the suburbs are big. These are big cities now. They're no longer those cities that got like 10,000 people. No, they are the cities that got like 100,000 people. And traffic is bad because they built the interstates through Tampa, through St. Petersburg, but the suburbs, they ignored it. Now, one suburb they did not ignore a lot. It's called Lakeland. And Lakeland is all right, but they got toll roads everywhere. Florida got as many toll roads as the Northeast. Yeah, they got toll roads everywhere. That's irritating as hell when you go somewhere and all you see is toll roads. And they just sucking money out of you. And you're paying your gas taxes, but the toll roads are not what you would call I-75, I-275. They're all these 526, 516s. They're all these state roads. They got toll roads everywhere. And that's annoying as hell. But I don't mind paying for a toll road if it's going to move traffic faster, and they all did. No one uses the toll roads. I guess the people in Florida are just cheap as hell, or their state taxes are not, well, actually, their lack of state taxes should be state taxes to build more roads. I guess they said we're not going to build more roads. We'll just make them toll roads. We'll just make them toll roads. So, I totally get that, but there are places that there should be no toll roads. They should be just free roads. But at the same time, when you go to the suburbs, and it's not going east and west of the city, like toward Orlando or toward Melbourne or Port St. Lucie, the toll roads don't go toward those cities. They're really just bypasses around the other little cities like Lakeland, Plant City. They just got toll roads around those cities, which is not a big deal because, I can deal with it. But a lot of people who are local don't want to spend all their money on gas, taxes, and paying for toll roads. Florida got a lot of toll roads. Florida got a lot of interstates. But I'm gonna be up. But I'm gonna be up front. They got some of the most well laid out interstates in the world. Florida reminds me of Texas. They got pretty interstates. Someone has put a lot of money into not just Florida growth, but the road, the infrastructure has a lot of money put into it, and you can feel it. Now, saying about Tampa, I'm gonna tell you the part about Tampa I do not like. Old people. Yeah, they got a bunch of them. You cannot put old people on the same road you put a 30-year-old. You are asking for an accident, and they have a lot of them. The I-4 corridor is one of the worst roads for accidents and death in America, if not the world. I look in cars and I see a lot of old people, and these old people should not be in their cars during rush hour. I don't know where they're going during rush hour. And like I said, Tampa, the weather is a beast. Parking downtown is a nightmare from hell. Somebody needs to wake up and say, hey, I want to park downtown. Where can I park that doesn't cost $40? But not only that, it should be some free parking. Tampa has none of that. No, they don't have any free parking during rush hour, or actually not just rush hour, any time of the day. There's no free parking. Tampa is just one of those cities that, you go downtown and there's not a lot to do, but Tampa, as far as food goes, they got a couple of food courts downtown that's nice, but it seems like it's all bar food. I went to a couple places, it's just bar food. Tampa used to have a restaurant called Dad's. Dad's had the best breakfast in America. And they had one in Tampa, and they had one in St. Pete, and maybe Clearwater. But at the same time, no, that's gone. They got like maybe one Dad's left, and it serves lunch and dinner, but it's more of a bar than it is a restaurant. That's called Dad's in Tampa, or now I think it's called Dad's in St. Pete. They don't have anything that you want that's new, anything that you yourself just can't figure out. And so Dad's is gone. It's still there, but the menu is totally changed and different than what it was when I was there the last time, which was like last year. I don't see any positive in there. And they open at 11 o'clock, where before they used to open at like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning, but it was convenient to my hours. And so now it's been replaced by a place called Kiki's. So Dad's is gone. But as far as things to do in Tampa, you got a lot of things to do in Tampa for a day. It's not like you're going to be busy every day, all day. That's not Tampa at all. Tampa got some nice things to see there. They got the Buccaneers football stadium that was there, and then got ripped apart by the last hurricane or whatever came through there. So that's gone too. So Tampa, but you got some great universities, and you got some great drones. You got some great drone shots from Tampa that I got in this video. You just gotta be patient and look at them. But Tampa itself is a growing city. That area is just exploding. From Apollo Beach, which is where a lot of the military officers from CENTCOM like to live nowadays. And it's a nice area, but they're constantly building houses there in Apollo Beach. And you know what? As far as price goes, Tampa's not that bad. It's not really that bad as far as price goes. But they are constantly building new buildings every single damn day. Especially houses. But the housing prices are going down. Tampa's oversaturated. Tampa's a city of maybe 500,000, In the metro, maybe 3 million, and that's including St. Pete. But Tampa is definitely seeing a housing crisis that's going down. There's no way in hell Tampa can sustain those prices in Tampa, because I don't know what everyone does that's not supporting the military in some type or fashion or form. I do not know what everyone does, because, you got tourism, but it's not like you got Tampa Beach. The beach is on the St. Pete side. So that's one of the things that you just got to tell yourself, what is everyone doing in Tampa to generate income to pay for those houses? Because those houses are not cheap. And then if you own a house, it's hard to sell your house, because the people are building new houses all the time. And when you build a new house next to a house that's not new, you're going to lose money on the existing house versus the new house. The new house will get what they're asking for, but everything around it, because why would I buy a used house when I can get a new house for the same amount of money? That's stupid. And I got a warranty and everything else, and I know it's been maintained, and I can find a builder next week where I can't find you next week if you disappear. Yeah, there's no way in hell I can do that. Now, as far as food goes, Tampa is not bad, but I tell you about that, and it's not bad, because I still like going down Dale Mabry Boulevard and eating at those mom and pop shops. I still like doing that kind of stuff. And Tampa allows me to do that. But also, Tampa do not believe in medians in the road. In the road, they got, 2 or 3 lanes each way, which is not a big deal. But there's no additional lane for you to make a left or right turn. Very, very rare. And because Tampa is an old city. Tampa was built a long time ago. And Tampa got a lot of immigrants. They got a lot of immigrants. It's just hard to find immigrants restaurants. And I tried and tried and tried. I could not find restaurants run by Haitians, run by Cubans. I would find 1 or 2. But, for the number of immigrants that Tampa have, the number of immigrants, I thought I'd be finding them left and right. And now, there were some seedy parts of Tampa I did find good restaurants in. But they were seedy as hell, and I was never going to want to go there for a dinner. I would for a breakfast or a lunch, but not for a dinner. So that's something you got to think about when you go to Tampa. And hotels in Tampa are not cheap. You go to Embassy Suites, and you paying like $350 a night. Hotels are not cheap at all in Tampa. But that's one of those things that as you stay there, you'll get used to. Now, Tampa got pretty causeways. Hell yeah. The causeways are pretty. The bridges are pretty when you cross into other parts of Florida, like St. Pete or some of the other areas. They're pretty as hell. Tampa got nice roadways, but it's just so packed. Really, really packed. And that bothered the hell out of me. I'm like, how can you be so packed in an area? Tampa got lots of land. Tampa goes damn near from Ocala to Tampa. Different counties, Pinellas counties versus Hillsborough County. It's just so packed. And it's packed every day, all day. But one of the most beautiful things about Tampa is the Riverwalk. You can walk for like, I don't know if it's 10, 12, 15 miles, and you can see almost downtown, but you got this beautiful bay that's blue water that is just great. And you can walk it all day long, take a baby on a stroller. It's just pretty as hell. And there's no way you can miss that. There's no way you can enjoy that. Now, the way you can enjoy it, if it's 95 degrees, yeah, Tampa get hot. But, I had on a big brim hat, and I kind of got rid of that, and Tampa got some nice universities. They got some of the largest universities in Florida. But, like I said, the Riverwalk leads you to 2 out of the 3 big universities. You got University of Tampa, you got South Florida, and you got you got South Florida. You got University of Tampa, and there's one other one, I can't remember the name of, but you got a lot of community colleges. You got a lot of community colleges, and they all may be 4-year colleges by now. you know. But you can walk around there all day and see a whole lot of things. And Tampa got some hotels that are very historic, and they charge a little more, but they give you great scenery from Tampa. So my advice, if you like cities and you like to be active, go to Tampa. Tampa is to me is outside the food, it's not a bad place to be at. It's not a bad place to visit outside the food. Now, like I said, they had food courts. I wasn't impressed. I didn't see any food trucks. None at all. Chicago got food trucks everywhere. I didn't see any in Tampa at all. And I'm not saying they don't have any. It's just that you would think some places you go to, like the Riverwalk, downtown and all that, you would see at least one food truck. No, I didn't see any food trucks. But that was just my take on Tampa. And so, like I said, you can go there and you can be busy. They got some museums, and there's a guy named Plant. They got a city named after him called Plant City, not far from Tampa. But they got a museum named Plant that's not bad. And I went in there for a few minutes, and it's not bad at all. But Tampa, I've been down there during the winter, during the spring, during the summer, during the fall, and Tampa just do not seem to have seasons. So if you want seasons, don't go to Tampa, because you're going to get one season, hot as hell, hot and hotter. You may get hot, hotter, hotter, and the hottest. That's the 4 seasons you're going to get. Tampa is not one of those kind of cities that you're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get 60-degree weather. I never got it. I'm not saying you won't get it. I never got it. It is what it is. But Tampa Airport is easy to get into, easy to get out of. You can go almost anywhere from Tampa, and they have a lot of cruise lines, a lot of cruises that you can go to. So Tampa got a lot of great advantages. And like I said, don't go there thinking you're going to get some food that you can't get anywhere else. That is not the case. Now, I heard that they got that kind of food, but someone, in the comments, tell me where. Because I've been to Tampa probably about 12 to 14 times in the last 3 years, and I struggle to get a damn decent meal. I really, really struggle to get that meal where I can go brag about Tampa. Now, I can brag about the weather. Not. It's too damn hot. Hotel prices, I think, are overpriced for what they offer versus going about 60 miles east to Orlando, where you got 1 million hotels around Disney World that are damn near free. They pay you to come. Tampa isn't that way. And Tampa, I always wonder, is everybody there going to CENTCOM for some kind of military meeting? Because I don't see anything else in Tampa that would make me want to come, business wise. Now they got a couple of large companies, that are international, but they're not large in the sense that they got 100,000 employees. They're large in the sense that they got 5,000 employees, and most of them work from home, and they're located in Tampa, because Tampa, believe it or not, is a technology hub. And it could be because people are trying to get military contracts, or some of the telecom companies that were spun off from Bell Labs and other places were located in that area. So that's why Tampa is a big technology hub. But like I said, they got universities there that can make you want to live there, and people graduate and they stay there and stuff. So that's Tampa as far as the Old School Traveler goes. And like I said, it's not a bad place. I really enjoy it, and I love going there. It's almost like a retirement community, but not a retirement community. It's not like it's got something like the Villages, all the freaks and swingers and stuff. It's not that. But also Tampa got a lot of trailer homes or pre-manufactured homes. They got a lot of those. So I can see when hurricanes and stuff come through, those things are treated like Wizard of Oz, where the houses is twisting in the wind or the rain. I can see a lot of that. So this is your old school traveler saying, hey, this is all about Tampa. Take a chance. And like I said, it's worth the money. It's worth the time. And I think that for a lot of people, they would enjoy themselves. But I just enjoy myself, and I'm definitely going to go back to Tampa. I'm just not going to make Tampa my home if I had to pick a choice. But I do love Tampa. I do love the environment. But the traffic just kills me. Old School Traveler, Tampa out.